it's such a powerful lifestyle, I think. And I really feel, and I was saying earlier, like, obviously as humanity, we need to sort of mature to a place where we realize that we can't just continue to take and not sort of recycle, you know. And I think it's such a, I would say, very highly conscious decision to make, you know. It's very fascinating, and I think the buy-in is into that lifestyle. I love that. That lifestyle is very rich. I have
and
to
it's
say.
a supportive community. Where one person is focused on rainwater harvesting. They talk to the other homeowners about what they're doing. We're all sort of learning from each other. But I think what's particularly interesting is the buildings that we live in. The buildings that we work in. We spend, you know, I'm sitting in the office for whatever 8-9 hours of the day, and you know, that's a building. And then from there I go into my house where I'm spending the rest of the day there with a bit of time, you know, dotted in between for a run or in the vegetable garden. But so I think what's really interesting is the design of the buildings that we're living and working in, and building in a sustainable way. You know, it's easy to build. It doesn't cost that much more to build in a sustainable way. Sometimes it doesn't even cost more at all, but it's the knowledge. What is sustainable architecture? So when homeowners buy a plot at Foxdale Forest, we guide them through the process of what is a sustainable home. The most important thing for us, it's within Foxdale Forest, we don't allow any generators. So all backup power is provided through solar.
Solar panels,
and exactly, solar or inverters. But we highly encourage a couple of solar panels. The one thing that we can count on in Zambia is the sun is going to shine.
Exactly.
We can count on that sun rising.
And
it just makes so much sense that for backup power, and even for a lot of your essential loads, you harness the power of the sun. But to do that, you need to make sure that as much of your roof as possible is facing north, and put your solar panels facing north.
Facing north,
The sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. In the southern hemisphere, the way that the Earth is tilted on its axis, is that when by facing north, you're getting the most amount of PV power, which is solar power. So as the sun rises at the moment at 5 o'clock in the morning, you start generating power. At midday, between 11 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're generating your maximum amount of power. You feel it, it's hot at 12 o'clock, it's really hot. And then you've got your afternoon sun, which is generally also quite warm, so you're generating lots of power in the afternoon till about 5 o'clock at the moment, generating PV power. So spatial roof north. Then we also encourage rainwater harvesting pits. So the concept of rainwater harvesting, like harvesting a crop, it's collecting. So you're collecting your rainwater. And we can, you know, in the most simple concept of rainwater harvesting is what happens in the compounds during the rainy season. You'll see people with a bucket of water under their roof, and they're collecting their rainwater and using it to, you know, wash their plates, wash their, you know, wash clothes. And we do exactly the same thing, but rather than just a bucket under the roof, use a gutter and a downpipe, and then you can put you can put a tank and a tap to collect your rainwater. That's rainwater harvesting. Now we do encourage rainwater harvesting, but more than that, we encourage rainwater harvesting pits, which is basically you dig a hole in the ground 3 meters by 3 meters by 3 meters deep. You can put soak-away stones inside, or you can layer it with crushed stone, sand, crushed stone, a river sand, and crushed stone on the top. And you put your downpipe into that pit. What it means is that all the water that you're capturing from the roof is going to go straight down into the ground. It soaks into the ground, and you're filling up the biggest tank that we have, which is our aquifer. It's our underground water tank. Because we're all we've all got our boreholes, and we're pumping water from the ground, but almost nobody is putting water back into the ground. And that's why, I mean, when I was young, I remember my parents would draw for water, that hit water at 40 meters, and now minimum 100 meters, 200 meters. And if you think that's happened in the space of 30 years or so, think about it in another 30 years, and with the population growth rate, I think in the next 30 years we're going to be drilling for water at 300 meters.
Wow.
You know, hitting water, you know, and it's going to go deeper and deeper if you look at the rate at which it's gone. But that's why we all need to start refilling that tank. And it's cheap to do. It's a gutter, which a lot of houses have, and downpipe, and then you just put your downpipe into the water to start recharging our underground water. And that's also one of the reasons. So we asked for all homes within Foxdale Forest to have a rainwater harvesting pit. And then, so we have our minimum sustainability requirements, and then we've got a lot of things which is sort of over and above, which is, you know, as people develop their homes, they can they can do more and more sustainable things. But it's also one of the reasons why we protect the forest at Foxdale Forest as much as possible, because we are a rainwater, we're a captive area. We've got all these beautiful trees, and also just to allow the rainwater to soak back into the ground. We also keep all of our roads gravel as well. And again, we're trying to reduce the amount of hard surfaces that we have. Once you have this hard surface, the water isn't going back into the ground. But with the sort of softer surfaces, with gravel surfaces, you're capturing that rainwater. It's soaking back into the ground, and it's soaking into the ground where you're going to pump the water back out. Again. So that's really important to us.